What's up, people? It's Mike Watts with another video from my bed. This will end soon. Thank you so much for being here and putting up with this. Still have my broken kneecap. Got my x-ray today. Still broken. And today's video, I want to talk about partnership. So this video is 100% for the dudes that are out there. And if you happen to be in a marriage or going through something or in a partnership or whatever that may be, this message is 100% for the dudes. So if you identify as a female when you're watching this or as a woman, you can send this to your partners if you got your partners that are there. Okay, so this is all about, my wife Kate posted an Instagram post yesterday talking about when we started dating. She asked me, would you ever get help if we ran into some like hiccups inside of our relationship? And I said, sure. I was like, sure. Yeah, why not? I was never in sort of therapy or got relationship help or any of that before. But I'm going to share 3 tips of why dudes we got to get some help here. Okay? And the first thing I want to start off with is you have to acknowledge that you need help. And this is point number 1, right? In my business, I run a business with my wife I have for the last decade. If I need a marketing expert, or I'm building some sort of widget and I need an operator, what do? Do I try to do it all myself? No. I go and find a marketing person. I go find a video editor. I go find a widget maker to help me make the widgets. Because like as us as men, we have specific skill sets, right? And we're built and driven to think we can do everything, right? It's the quote unquote, my dad can fix anything shirt. It's like my dad knows everything. He can help everything. Like, it's all a bunch of bullshit. Like, let's be honest. Dads don't know everything, and neither do men. But the illusion is that they do, right? Number 1, if I need a marketing expert for my business, I will hire a marketing expert. If I'm going to have somebody to build a boat, I'm going to go to a boat building expert. So if I'm in partnership or relationship, I should go to someone that helps people with partnerships or relationships if I'm having struggles with it. Because men, it is okay to struggle in a relationship because we're humans and it is going to happen. We are going to struggle in relationships and partnerships for a variety of reasons. We are operating inside of this dynamic between 2 people, but there's a ton of lineage and baggage that shows up to operate within 2 people. And so there's no way we are able to process that. So the point number 1 here is looking for help, whether that's like a therapist or taking a course or some sort of book or a program that can be helpfme right? We need help. We need support. That's where you can get it. Number 2, let me reread it and then I can tell you. Your partner, your wife, your partner, whoever you're in a relationship with, most likely would like to go do something like I just mentioned in number 1. Get assistance and help. See a therapist. Take a course. Read a book together about growing the relationship. 80% of personal development books are bought by women, right? So they are learning about like bettering themselves. Men, we can do better at becoming better as people, as men, as humans. And a lot of times our partners, our ladies that are in our life, they're scared to bring it up to you. They're scared to bring it up to me. Why are they scared? For a variety of reasons. It could be like you might have anger issues. It could be that they know they're rejected. It's triggering, that's a therapy word, quote unquote. But it's like, it's a vulnerable space to have your partner come up to you and say, hey, it's not that there's anything wrong. It's not like you're getting divorced or the relationship's ending. It's just about growth inside of the dynamic. Because the person that I married 7 years ago now is not the same person that she was 7 years ago. We have a business together. We have 2 kids together. We've been in a marriage for 7 years. We've been together for 10 years. I'm not the same person either. So the expectation that we are supposed to be the same people all the way through till we die and like be in this monogamous relationship, if you choose to do that, forever, like it's so impractical and ridiculous, right? But to think that we're going to be the same, not to like have the partnership or the relationship, but it's so much pressure. So actually getting the support, your woman in your life or your partner in your life wants to do this, wants to get help, wants to grow, wants to do something, but they might be afraid to actually ask you because of some sort of reason, your ego or whatever, right? So if you're watching this to be like, I've never actually had this conversation with my lady or your partner, go ask her. She might be interested, right? Because most likely if she's still with your ass, she still wants to grow and like cultivate a dynamic in relationships that's there, right? So, number 3, actually I have a bonus one. So the bonus one, let's do number 3 first. It's freedom. You don't have to hold everything. This isn't about responsibility, right? This isn't about you being responsible for everything. It doesn't mean you have to change your entire dynamic, but like understanding each other on a deeper level and actually seeking out help and guidance to go through something together, it actually brings true freedom to each person and it brings freedom to the relationship. Because what happens is, if I'm trying, let's say I want a video editor for my business. If I'm going to sit there, and I'm horrible at technology, right? And so I'm sitting there forever just trying to manage how to edit a video, and it's exhausting. But if I just hire a video editor, then I can just tell them what to do and they go take care of it. And so when you seek help for whether it's through a person or through a course or a book, you are seeking help from outside of the system, and that is where it can be freeing. Now, when you're learning things together to go through something that I just explained, it's going to bring stuff up. And so you have to have compassion and empathy and kindness for each other during this process. And especially for dudes, like we are in this space where it's like it's damaging to our quote unquote our ego, right? To look at this thing, to realize like I don't know everything and I can't do everything. I thought I'm supposed to because as society, we're told we're supposed to have it all together. We're supposed to take care of the family and take care of the unit. You can still do that and get assistance and help, right? You can still do all of that. But your joy in life might not be doing all of those things all the time, right? So the bonus one I would say, now I can't remember what it was. That's hilarious. Okay, it blanked my mind. Anyway, just to recap, right? Number 1, hiring somebody for your partnership is like hiring somebody for your company, your business, or you might be an employee someplace else. You are the reason that like that company needed assistance because of your skill set. So hiring somebody that's outside of your partnership and dynamic is valuable, and it allows guidance and help to get there. So number 2 is your wife and your partner want to do something like this. They want to do it with you. They don't want to do it by themselves. They say they want to do it by themselves. But what happens is when someone in a partnership is doing something that's growing, like let's say they're taking some sort of course, and it's like they're taking the course and the partner's not doing anything. I don't want to do it. I'm resistant. I'm not going to do it. This person is going to start growing out of that partnership. It's going to grow out of that dynamic. Instead of letting the person in the relationship, as a man that I'm talking to you, it could be your woman or another man, depending on your dynamic, they will grow out of the partnership. And then the resentment happens, anger happens, like all sorts of other things that take place. So instead of saying like to your woman to be like, you go take that course, you become better. It's like, no, let's do it together. Let's talk about it. Let's work through all of our shit because we're going to. It's going to come up. Like the uncomfortableness of it is real. And for you to be vulnerable might be a big step for her to watch you be vulnerable because let's say her dad was never a vulnerable person. I remember number 4, the bonus one now. So number 3 is the freedom, is you can let go of trying to quote unquote hold everything, and bringing in some sort of course or partnership will allow this growth to happen, or like something like this to take place, to develop inside of your relationship. Number 4 is your marriage and partnership is not the same as your parents, right? Your parents' relationship and dynamic is not the same of what's currently operating in 2021. A lot of times we compare ourselves to like our parents' dynamic. It's not. It won't be moving forward. Like there's all this hysteria around like kids and parenting and all this blah, blah, blah. There's so much emphasis that we think my marriage should be the same as my parents. Kate's parents are divorced. Kate's father's remarried. My parents are still together after, 30 plus years. But like, my dad traveled my whole life. So my parents spent a lot of time apart, right? And Kate's parents ended up getting divorced. So like, their marriages are not our marriage. So we are developing our own marriage in this dynamic of like life. And if we compare to what our parents were, like, it's never going to work. So like, what your mom or dad might tell you, it's like, okay, thanks. You can take it in one ear and go out the other ear, because like, some of it might be valuable and some of it's not. And I feel like I see a lot of stuff about like, oh, my dad and my mom and like what this was like and the blah, 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 blah. Like, you can't do that shit. Like, it's just such a waste of time and energy. It's like, that's their life and their partnership and relationship. Mine is much different. So as a dude, we cannot compare to, and then especially if you had a father who was not there, right? So you kind of lost that masculine presence that was in the family. And then so you might have been raised just by your mom, right? And so that dynamic is going to be different, or vice versa, raised just by your dad, not by a mother, right? And so, or grandparents, whatever. So those dynamics all play into it. So it's helpful to work through that. So if you got to this part of the video, you need assistance with all of this stuff, and you're a guy like, where do I start? Well, I have an answer for you right now. Our friends, good friends of ours, Jonathan Brightboard and Sarah Jenks, put out a course called Modern Marriage. It's an online course for couples who want a hotter, more equitable, and epic marriage. I'm not going to dive what it's all about. You're smart. You can read. So you can go, I'll link up in this video, in the description of this video, you can see where to go read about this information. These people are friends of ours. I really value, we spend a lot of time together. We value that dynamic between the two of us. We talk about our marriages a lot. And they really operate in this paradigm of, moving forward together in life and breaking up responsibilities, not putting it all on ownership on one person. Because even this day of like where we are today, creating more of a modern marriage, let's say, where, but most of the home responsibilities are still falling on the mother of the house or the woman of the house. And that needs to change. Like, just frankly, it does. So, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Men with depression, men with, wasting a lot of time, suicide rates, alcoholism, like all of these things are rising because it's in our system, it's in our DNA of reasons we need to change all of these things. So the first thing, dudes, is check out their Modern Marriage course. You can even, like, a great way to be like, yo, honey, I think we should take this course together. You're going to blow away your woman. You just walk in there, you can check this, and if you're a woman watching this, drop this to your husband or your partner and just be like, yo, we should do this together. Here's why I think we could do this together. And you just go through it together. And it's just, I would just go to the link, read the information that's there about the Modern Marriage course, see if it's valuable to you. But the biggest thing I can say, men, is like, we have to change. We live in a world that needs to change. And like, that starts with us. It starts with us looking ourselves in the mirror and making a decision that we need to change. And it's really easy to check out from changing by looking at the global scope of things. If I look at climate change and how big that is, or whether you believe it or not, I don't know. Or if you think the earth is flat, I don't know. But like, you look at that and take climate change, for instance, like, I can't solve that problem for the whole world. It starts at the home. It starts by me looking in the mirror, acknowledging what's going on. Our marriage isn't as sexy as it used to be. It's not as hot as we'd like. We're not having as much sex as I would like. I've put on a few extra pounds. What can I do to like change these things? And this is how you do it. You start going through your first book, your first course. And your lady is going to find it super fucking sexy if you come to her and be like, yo, I want to grow with you. I want to grow with you. Let's go through Modern Marriage together. You can check it out. The link below. Let me know if you have any questions. Peace.